So right now, the Steelers are in an interesting situation. Their offense isn't really that good, but their defense is. And they're winning games based on their defense. So today, we're going to go ahead and bench Russell Wilson, because I feel like that's the best idea possible. But today, we have a strong safety added to their defense. So I said, you know what? Let's just make their defense better. Because once you add Troy Polamalu to their defense, who needs an offense when you got this type of defense? You got TJ Watt, you got Cam Haywood, Mika Fitzpatrick. Obviously, now you got Troy Polamalu. You have a very good secondary. So let's just see how it goes. They also have somewhat of a tough schedule because they made it to the playoffs last year, but did lose in the wild card. Week 1, they played the Falcons. In real life, they did win this game. And in Madden, they also win this game. Okay. Denver Broncos. We'll see how this goes. Should be an easy win as well. Chargers, who are currently 2-0 in this franchise. And they beat the Chargers. Oh, wow. Okay. 3-0. Did not expect it, but okay. My last video, okay, they lost to the Colts. I was going to say in my last video, we had the Lions. And the Lions, for some reason, sucked. So I expected the Steelers to suck too. But they are currently 3-2, and they play the Las Vegas Raiders, which they do beat the Raiders. They played the New York Jets, and they win that game. And going into their bye week here, they played the New York Giants. So, not bad start to the season for the Steelers. They're currently 6-2. Unfortunately, the Ravens are 7-1. Bengals are 7-1. And they are 6-2. So, they're kind of in that cusp of an interesting situation. Now, the problem with the Steelers' schedule is not the first half. The second half's the difficult one. You got the Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Browns, Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, Bengals. That's the problem with the Steelers' schedule, is the second half of the season. The first half, they're whatever. Second half, not really. 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions for Justin Fields. Clearly, they are relying a lot on that defense. And to be honest, it makes perfect sense. Troy Polamalu has 1 interception so far. It looks like TJ Watt is being typical TJ Watt, which is destroying people. They have the 23rd ranked offense, and defensively, they are ranked number 5. So, yeah, Troy is doing typical Troy things, which is helping this team and this defense play great football. So now coming out of their bye week, they play the 5-4 Washington Commanders, and they are going to win that game. Barely, by 1 point. They play the 91 Ravens. And yeah, I expected that one to be a loss. So they were 7-2 at one point. Just remember this. 5-5 Brownies. Once in Cleveland. They actually win that game. Okay. I really thought they would have a collapse. I'll be honest with you. They beat the Bengals. Okay, 9-3. They are 9-4 with arguably one of the worst offenses in the NFL. This is insane, bro. That defense Pittsburgh has is insane. The Ravens are 13-1. And currently, a 9-6 Pittsburgh Steelers squad who might actually, yep, they're going to collapse. They absolutely collapsed at the end of this season. And they missed the playoffs. Wait. Yeah, they missed the playoffs with a 10-7 record because the Miami Dolphins beat them out and the Colts beat them out. That is actually crazy. So they missed the playoffs by 1 spot, even though at one point, they 7-2? 7-2, and they couldn't make the playoffs with a 10-7 record. This is the problem of working in the AFC. The AFC is actually freaking broken. 20 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 2,800 yards for Justin Fields. Najee Harris led the team in rushing. Receiving, not much. We have 2,800 yards. It's not going to work out too well. Troy Polamalu had 1 interception on the whole season. So, really didn't do much in the aspect of, like, getting turnovers. I mean, okay, 2 fumble recoveries, 1 forced fumble. Okay, 25th ranked offense. What were they defensively? Their final defensive rank was 4th. Yeah, so their defense helped them out a lot. It's just There's not much a defense can do if your offense is piss poor. And also, if you just absolutely fall apart in the second half of the season. And again, this is very possible in real life. It's very possible the Steelers could, in fact, go 8-0. And then the second half of the season, even 9-0. And the second half of the season, they just collapse. I mean, yeah, that 3-game stretch right here. I mean, honestly, even 4-game stretch. You probably play at Cincy, home versus Cleveland. You play at Philly, at Baltimore, home versus the Chiefs, and then you play the Bengals again. I will be very interested to see how this ends up turning out in real life. Not expecting too much greatness when it comes to that, just because, again, that's a very, very difficult little bit of schedule there. But 10-7 and not making the playoffs is kind of diabolical. I'll be honest with you. That is very, very awful. Nonetheless, though, Steelers didn't win any awards. As always, again, Troy did good, but Troy can only do so much for that team. And their defense, well, yes, was absolutely dominant. It's not really saying much. So, points-wise, they allowed the least amount of points in the NFL. They had the most sacks in the NFL by very, very much. Did not have the most interception or fumbles. Pass yards, they allowed the third least amount of pass yards. Rushing-wise, they allowed the fourth least amount of rushing yards. And then total yards, they were fourth. So, give Troy to a great defense and let him eat. Problem is, the offense is really piss poor. And this time, you can't even blame Matt Canada. Isn't that great? Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.